Wakanda forever!
Heyo guys, happy Friday and welcome back to the Suit Up Geek Fix podcast. I'm Amanda, we have Lo, we have Ryan. Dibes went somewhere because the Sixers are playing, so that's what's happening right now.
And Amanda swallowed a frog.
I literally did. I am so sorry. I've been drinking water all day. But we have Gabe, who is our very special guest today with a lot of opinions because film opinionitis. So yeah, we're gonna be reviewing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness tonight. So I'm really nervous about this discussion. Some of us really liked it, some of us really didn't. And guys, we are brought to you by the Music City Drive-In Podcast. So follow them at MCDI Pod on Twitter. Follow us over at the Suit Up Geeks on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we're gonna get into this review. So the synopsis of Multiverse of Madness is that we're gonna journey into the unknown with Doctor Strange, who, with the help of mystical allies, both old and new. Thank you so much, Tyler.
It's our favorite commenters in the house. And he's congratulating our host, Amanda, on puberty.
So hard. Thank you guys so much.
Say, it's funny that he put this in the comments because I'm like, wow, she really sounds like she's giving it all to really say this description. And then that comment comes in and just fucking.
Anyways,
continue.
Amanda. Thank you. I know you can hear it. You can hear it. Anyways,
please continue.
This is gonna be a fun night. Clearly, so fun because everyone's gonna roast me. It's great. So, first impressions wise, for me, I'm dying. Clearly. So first impressions wise for me, when I walked out of the theater, I enjoyed it for what it was, but I was still kind of underwhelmed with what I watched. Again, if it wasn't for Sam Raimi, like, I think that this would have been a completely different movie. And the more that I talk about it, the more that I understand that there are flaws and I see the flaws. But if it weren't for Sam and if it weren't for Scarlet Witch and Wanda in that case, then this would have been a very different movie. And I feel like this was more of a Scarlet Witch film than a Doctor Strange film. And I think that I would have wanted it just to be about her, with like Doctor Strange coming in and knowing that Wanda's about to go through all of this. So that's how I felt. I felt really underwhelmed. But Dibes, what did you think? I'll go to you first.
Oh, am I on mute? No, I'm not. Okay. All right, real quick. I thought it was a really fun movie. I thought it was a really good Marvel movie. I'm kind of glad the movie wasn't as big as I expected, given its title. I thought there was actually less multiverse hopping going in here. And I love the fact, like you said, Amanda, that this movie primarily focused on Steven. It focused on Wanda. It focused on Christine. Like, I love watching Steven kind of come to grips that he can't be with the love of his life. And while learning that, like, sometimes you have to value the individual over making that big sacrificial play. I thought it was genuinely moving. I thought it was a really smart move for the character where it's at currently in the MCU. And I'm really glad I didn't go into this movie knowing any of the spoilers, because I was really happy about some of the cameos, which we'll get into, and how it played out, especially later in this show. On Wanda, I think the film really got it right. We did a show, Tuesday or Wednesday or some shit. And like, I really wanted this film to be all about Wanda, and it really was. And I just was so happy, and I was so shocked as well, the fact that they went full villain, full Wanda, full villain in this movie. And it was the absolute right decision. WandaVision is officially an origin villain story for Wanda becoming this villain, and I absolutely love that concept. I want more of that. Disney Plus, give me all of the origin villain stories 100%. And I thought Sam Raimi's direction in this movie was absolutely awesome. He has this like gory yet campy style that I think really fit Doctor Strange, like I said, currently in the MCU. There was a brightness about it. You see Doctor Strange kind of learning those feelings of optimism and hope within his character. I thought that worked really, really well. Overall, terrific movie. Definitely not upper tier MCU, but definitely mid to upper MCU. I enjoyed it. It was a fun ride.
Yeah, I'm happy you had fun. I'm just like, I'm jealous that you were not spoiled by anything.
Yeah, I'm so happy
into this. You're so lucky. And I know, Lo, you had a lot of fun watching this one for a very specific reason, because you were on cloud 9 before you went to go watch this. So what was your first impression of Multiverse of Madness?
So I'm insane. That was actually my second showing yesterday. I did 2 showings within 24 hours. One in 3D, one without. And honestly, from the get-go, I appreciated how from the get-go they pulled no punches. Raimi pulled no punches. We just jump right into the action. We're running through the middle of the universes with Doctor Strange from whatever universe he's from in America Chavez. And Raimi put his fingerprints on this from the get-go. From the wedding scene with the zoom on Rachel McAdams, with the balcony scene, almost made you feel like you were back in the Spider-Man trilogy. And then when we get to Kamartaj, we have like glimpses of Evil Dead like all over this. And there's so much horror madness that I thought was really fun. And I liked that they didn't overdo the multiverse concept. I think it easily could have been convoluted. It easily could have been overstuffed. It easily could have been overshadowed by tons of cameos and other stories that wasn't important to what we got. And I think watching Wanda's journey from the beginning of Age of Ultron through WandaVision all the way to where we got, and here's my kicker. Comic fans know the House of M. They know how dangerous she is, but casual fans also seen her damn near kill Thanos. And I think that now it's like, what if she was against us? And I think that concept in itself is what makes this film so exciting. And I think Sam Raimi bring all of his previous like energy from Evil Dead and Spider-Man into this MCU that we're in now. I think he did like the best possible like version of what we could have gotten with what he was given. And I'll admit there are some issues that I have, but top to bottom, I had fun. And I thought that for a Doctor Strange entry, I think minus like maybe one section in the middle, he was through and through the anchor of this film. And I think that maybe some people might disagree with that, but I'll get into that more later. But I had such a fun time.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying with the good stuff for sure. And I feel like we were all worried that this was going to be overstuffed. Like there was that time where they were going through the multiverses, like different planes. They could have dropped cameos in there and completely like throw everyone in there, and they could have made it more than it was. So I think that they balanced out these cameos extremely well. I have my grievances with what they did in that situation. But Ryan, I know how you feel about this already, but why don't you let everyone know how you felt, your first impression of Multiverse of Madness?
The first thing I wished after I had gotten out of that theater was, holy fucking shit, I really wish I watched the same movie as all 4 of you guys. Because, man, I'm not sitting here saying it's bad. It's not bad by any of the means. In fact, I think Sam Raimi saves a lot of aspects of this film for me. So God bless Raimi. But it massively disappointing. I thought the cameos were an absolute waste. Other than the fact that I got spoiled on the... I guess this is a spoiler review, so spoiler alert, guys, just in case, because no one spoiled anything yet. But I got spoiled that Mr. Fantastic, played by John Krasinski, was in this, and I'm like, all right, whatever. So I was kind of hoping that there'd be a bigger cameo going in, because that was my own darnness of getting spoiled, and maybe there was something more to that. But I was so late on the spoilers.
Perfect timing.
First gives an inspection. Thank you, Gabe.
I was gonna say my ugly PowerPoint slide. Sorry,
it's
Ryan.
Perfect.
No, fuck you, Gabe, for interrupting me. How dare you ever do that to me again?
Do it again, Gabriel. Thank you.
No.
Ryan!
I don't understand.
It was low, all low, long.
No, don't say that.
I'll just yell Ryan randomly. Just
do it. Wake him up. Wake him up.
Yeah.
No, I don't want that. I just don't know how you guys find this movie fun. This movie is called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And during today, they explain at least 75% of the multiverse, and they don't really do anything with the multiverse concept, in my opinion, or as grand as I think it could have been. by the title alone, because I do not get any multiversal madness throughout this film. I don't feel the consequences of the multiverse. They drop one line when she comes to attack fuck me. I always say-
Ryan!
I'm sorry, Gabe. You gotta stop screaming. The reverb is serious, man. And your voice is not that sweet. It's kind of fucking annoying.
Is it better than
Can
mine?
I speak to that though, Ryan, really quick
Wait.
before we move on?
Yeah, go ahead. Speak to it.
So
'Cause-
I'm gonna pull this up again, guys. Spoilers,
Yeah.
spoilers. If you guys are watching this,
Spoilers,
stream, we are gonna spoil the shit
the title,
out of this
spoilers
movie.
We are. We got to talk
on the
about
movie
it.
screen.
So look, like here's my thing, dude. I don't understand how you didn't grasp. Like maybe it wasn't insane enough for you, but look, we open the film in the middle of universes floating through the air and space. Doctor Strange dies. Okay, we got a fucking octopus monster that gets his eye plucked out. Fucking,
Cool.
we end up in a dimension where Doctor Strange is dead. We end up in another universe where the whole universe is fucked and he's by himself holding the Darkhold. I feel like there's some really interesting aspects here that you're kind of just
they don't do
glossing
anything with.
over because you weren't
right.
happy
There's
with
a lot of interesting
experience.
things in this movie.
No, he's saying that you're glossing over, Rye. You're glossing over those
Like,
moments.
I'm
saying
trying
they're
to
not
illustrate,
doing
like,
anything with the multiverse.
these
That's what I'm
multiversal
saying.
concepts are actually really exciting, like projecting
I
themselves.
don't disagree, but
So I just,
a lot of my problems go back to the writing.
No, Ryan, I think it's fine that you don't like it. I think that's fine. But the argument you're making right now is that the movie is not like the one you wrote in your head, which included
it's
a
not
whole
what I
bunch
wrote in
of
my head.
universes and a whole bunch of cameos.
The
And,
movie
and you were
literally
spoiled the
tells you all
one
these
cameo.
different universes that I'd much rather visit. Then yeah, I'll tell you that I thought it was cool seeing a New York City that was overtaken with plant life. But I'd much rather see some of the universes that they go through when they jump through her portal from Comertage. They go through at least 15 different universes, and they go to all the like boring, I don't want to say boring, but least unique ones other than that last one with Doctor Strange in the Darkhold. And I get the whole thing about him wanting to be with Christine Palmer, which is a whole nother thing in this movie, because I think when we were talking about the first Doctor Strange on Tuesday, I got what I technically asked for. I got more Christine Palmer, but it's a Christine Palmer that doesn't fucking matter in this movie.
It 100% does.
It doesn't.
No.
I think
It 100% does for where they're going for this story. I completely disagree with that. I think Christine actually
I
hated
totally
this movie
disagree.
down and grounded it for Steven, for moving on. And where that, the third film will absolutely go. I disagree with that completely.
My disconnect with the whole end speech about I love all versions of you, Christine. And I said this to Amanda last night when I got out. I thought it was a good moment. I thought it was a well-acted moment. But overall, it doesn't make sense in context of where this character is going.
Well, how?
I'm about to get into it. I'm literally about to get into it. I'm about to get into it. This is a Christine Palmer from, I forgot, it was
838.
838.
Yeah.
Which is the one with the Illuminati on it, right? That's the one with the plant and shit all around it. And that's the one we primarily follow throughout the movie.
Right.
And that is not the one we have the emotional connection to. That's not the one we literally watched get married in the beginning of the movie, and they build up this entire relationship.
Right. I'm just saying that's the multiversal effect, though, because you have to carry that emotional connection to those other characters in order for it to be effective.
But you don't carry that emotional connect, or at least I didn't find that I found the emotional connection when her Doctor Strange died. When I'm just gonna make the assumption it was 2018 when Avengers Infinity War happened. I'm gonna say that was the same timeline as that. And what is this? It's hard to really say what year they're in. I'm gonna say 2024, 2025 at least, right?
Hey Ryan,
yeah.
Can I say something? And you might not like it, but can I say something? I think for me, what I really got from that moment, which I liked as well, it wasn't about Christine. It was about Doctor Strange accepting that fact within himself, to accept the fact that he might not have the one that in 616, and he's fated to just not.
It's also a direct,
that was the point. So
it's also a direct comparison to Wanda, this Wanda who doesn't get what she wants. She doesn't get what she wants, and I respect it. That was like a little bit of why Doctor Strange kind of let Wanda like come to that aha Jesus moment at the very end. That's why, like he felt, because like there's definite similarities there where you have Strange in pretty much the majority of the multiverses not getting what he wants. The entire story of Doctor Strange was, are you happy? This came up 1,000 times during the movie, and he sees Wanda kind of, she's literally dealing with all of that stuff. Her kids, her
She's
parents.
never been happy, first of all.
They're the same characters, and that's why the parallels are so interesting. I thought it worked for me.
No, see,
I like that parallel though. I like what you're saying, Dad. But just to chime in, because Wesley brings up a point. We're gonna read his comment. I think it took him realizing he couldn't be with Christine from any universe to know he had to move on, which is also true. And that's why having a Christine from a different universe was key for his story. So I feel like it's a closed chapter. Well said, because I agree with that. Because now it's a closed chapter across all universes. He knows that she exists in all these universes, but I feel like he needed to have that conversation that he couldn't have with the Christine in his universe to get that closure. So I think it's beneficial, and that's why the emotional connection carries out across the universes, and that's why it works in this case.
Was it closure though? I get what you guys are saying, and I
No,
like what
it's
you're
not,
saying, but they agreed we'll meet again. Like I don't know if it was closure because they were like, yeah, I'll see you again.
The closure with Christine was Steven moving on. You saw at the end with the watch. That was the symbolism of he's moving on from Christine and probably moving on to Charlize Theron, who's going to be his new future wife. That is the story here. That is the nugget of moving on. Wanda moving on from Vision. Wanda moving on from not being able to have kids. Steven moving on from not having Christine. That's the point here.
I get that. My problem is I don't get the emotional connection, because what Wesley's saying and what you guys are all saying is relatively the same thing. You're focusing the relationship on just Steven's side. I'm taking it as both.
The one that matters. It's the one that matters.
It should matter to both when they literally have a conversation at the wedding about them never being able to work out and having them go through the phases of him going through.
Gone already. She married that other guy.
Also true. So she closed that chapter.
Yeah.
Steven is going to close this chapter, and then that's how they're going to move on. That's literally closing both.
Yeah, I'm not clear he closed the chapter. I get what you guys are saying, and I agree, but I also at the same time they kind of hinted like, I'll see you later. Now I have a lady that can go through universes. Maybe I'll see you in the next movie.
Yeah. Or they could have just said it to say it. Or they could have just said it.
I was just saying, like, it felt more like, haha, see you around, of course.
Type of thing.
No, he was like, you should come see my universe. And she said, I like that, right?
But she
just watched it, Lo. Is that what
No, I know.
But, I think, right?
But she said no, though.
It was more a formality of like, we're probably never gonna see each other again.
I feel that.
Like maybe.
See, I took it as they're just gonna see each other as different versions. They're still technically gonna see each other, just not
is a possibility.
The one they see. That's how I personally took it. Which makes
now this is the madness that Brian.
This is the madness, and I hear you.
Thank you. And then this is the thing. If that's the case, she has to be in the third movie,
which she probably will.
I know, but why focus on a relationship that doesn't matter in this movie?
It's not focusing on the relationship. It's focusing in the closure. Everybody just explain it to you, Ryan. God damn it!
It's about Steven, not Christine.
Ryan, I'm gonna let you marinate with that, all right? Because I want to hear what Gabe has to say too. I want to hear what Gabe has to say too about his first impression.
Oh man, 19 minutes. We haven't gotten his first impression.
I know.
But it's been entertaining.
I get you, Ryan. But yeah.
Okay, look, I mean, this movie was awesome. You guys know me. I'm like pretty skeptical about the MCU, especially recently. But this was great. Like, this was like, I mean, you guys keep saying this movie would not work without Sam Raimi. Like, this movie would not be this movie without Sam Raimi. It would be a completely different thing. Like, the whole third act, just like Sam Raimi was like, hey, let's bring in the Deadites. And it's like, just have everything Sam Raimi. He even has like his mouth, like Doctor Strange has like his mouth, like a piece missing. That's straight out of Darkman. Like, especially that he can speak clearly even though half of his mouth is missing. Like, that's straight out of Darkman. He just like does all the like Sam Raimi things like right there. So this movie would not be even close to what it is without Sam Raimi. So of course it works because of him, in coordination with the script, which I still yet to hear what the problems are. Looking forward to hearing that. I think, but I mean, to Ryan's credit, I do believe that the title worked against the movie because it was everybody expected this to be like jumping from universe to universe and like a quest to find 6 artifacts in 6 universes, and in one you'd have Wesley Snipes showed up, and in the next one you'd have Howard the Duck from the 80s movie, and like everybody thought that's what this was gonna be, right? I think, including me, to be honest. When I saw the cameo, the Krasinski, I was like, okay, that's one. What's next? And then turns out that was it. That was the only.
Yeah.
That was like he was the last cameo. Well, I guess Patrick Stewart showed up after, but everybody knew he was going to show up because they spoiled it in the trailer. So, point being, I think to Ryan's point, I think that the title makes it seem like it's a movie on a massive scale of like all the multiverses, kind of like what was hinted at in the end of Loki and a bit in the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. That's not what the movie is. The movie's actually pretty personal. I think it's mostly about like Wong is not in it very much, and he's basically just like driving the plot. He's not really like a character. So the movie's basically about Doctor Strange and Wanda, and a little bit about America. But like it's like if you count character by character, like compare it to something like say Black Panther, probably has half of the amount of characters. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty contained, which I appreciated.
I get what you're saying. I think for me, this had to come out now with all of these characters because of everything that happened after Infinity War and Endgame, and it did not feel like a direct sequel to the first one, in my opinion. I think that's where I'm struggling, because I feel like Wanda had all this character development. I feel like her character was written extremely well, and then they kind of cast Doctor Strange aside a bit. I'm not saying that they didn't write him like well. I'm just saying like I wish that there was more for him to do instead of it just being reactionary to what Wanda was doing. I feel like they did share the screen time, but I'm gonna throw it to you, Lo. Like, do you think that Doctor Strange had any character development in this movie at all?
We just talked about it though.
I was
No,
gonna say,
I mean,
kind of
like-
We
covered
just
a good
talked
chunk of
about
that.
it.
But I also want to
Yeah.
speak to the fact that you said this doesn't feel like a sequel to 2016.
Yeah.
Right? I think, okay,
yeah,
here's my
I don't
thing.
think so.
And look, I totally hear you, right? But I think the issue that the Marvel MCU has created for themselves is the fact that there's almost no true sequels anymore, just because Doctor Strange was so instrumental to the Infinity War, the Endgame, No Way Home, and we've seen him several times now. So it's like he's not even the same guy he was in 2016. But what I did appreciate is Raimi actually did a good job of, like, for example, the opening frame when he wakes up from his little multiverse nightmare. It's almost an identical shot to the ending shot, looking out that window, and then the looking at the watch, like the first thing of the focus. Because the last thing we saw in the end of Doctor Strange was, he looked at his watch, he looked at the window of the Santorum, and it kind of tied together nicely. And I really liked that the watch was integral to the plot of this film. So that was like some of the connective tissue there. And especially before we get into like the little bits of madness that it may or may not be enough for some people, I think that it was good that we came out kicking off with Rachel's wedding. And I think for me, even though maybe it didn't feel like it came from 2016, that to me was the connective tissue between the two films. So, I mean,
Yeah.
And in terms of his character, though,
Yeah.
I think he's, I think the fact that we know he was in No Way Home and we saw that already, I think he's also learning how to work with others and like mentor others. I really liked his relationship with America here. I think for me, minus him moving on from Christine, I think his relationship with America, it was almost an inverse of his relationship with Peter, because he wanted nothing to do with Peter. He's like, you want me to do what? He closes the door in his face, like, you didn't even try to talk to your college about yourself. And so I thought it was kind of cool that with America, he actually was trying to fix like the issue with her. And although I have some gripes with how she was written, and I don't even know her character all that well, I thought we had a lot of growth from Steven, honestly.
Well, also to that point, just to like hammer on that point, like one of the first things he says to Iron Man in Infinity War is like, "Hey, if I need to let you and Spider-Man die, like I will do it because the universe depends on it." Like that is one of the first things he says, like after his name, after introducing himself.
Yeah.
So it's like again, you don't need to have watched Infinity War to watch this, I think, but like it really like it's a growth from that concept to Lowe's point.
And I think in Doctor Strange, like this is an insanely lonely character. Like you look at his relationship with Christine, his loneliness kind of carried over here into the sequel. Christine even mentioned it. Like you always have to be the one holding the knife. Well, talk about character development. He gave the knife to America Chavez at the very end there, and sacrificed his, kind of his need to always kind of make the play or make that sacrificial play or whatever you want to call it. But give it to America. And I thought that was a big moment for his character, especially, as well as, saying Christine, like, the things, I thought it was a very human relationship. I think everybody has been in a relationship where, like it doesn't work out. But just because you move on doesn't mean there's always going to be feelings there, and I think there was a give and take there with Christine and Steven. That it didn't work out. It sucks, but they moved on, and it was like a very human, kind of relationship. I really enjoyed those two, and I thought that directly correlates to the first Doctor Strange.
And really quick, Manda,
can
we shout out Michael Stolberg, who had like 4 lines of dialogue in like 20-30 seconds, but he made his moment count because he was that doctor from the first film that was always like Stephen Strange had no respect for him.
I know,
and I thought that interaction was pivotal to like bringing us along from where we were. So I thought that was well done. So.
And I think the whole happiness part is going to be all about Doctor Strange 3. That's where this is going, because I think if the character Cleo for Charlize Theron, there's definitely going to be some love making going on there between those two characters. So just watch that.
I didn't know that.
It makes sense. It does make
spoilers, Dive. Spoilers.
Yeah, I did not know that. I just didn't know who she was.
Yeah, I knew that she was important to him, but
so she's definitely connected with Dormammu. And they're gonna make some babies. I don't know.
I thought they were setting up Ant-Man. Is that completely wrong?
That's what I thought, but I guess not.
Yeah.
No,
the portal she literally tears in the post-credit scene is the background they have for Dormammu.
The dark dimension.
Yeah. Dark dimension. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty obvious when that happened. But okay, so
go ahead,
Gabe. You mentioned this. You're like, I gotta hear about some of these script problems. I can't wait to hear about them, motherfucker. You asked for the storm. The storm is here, motherfucker.
Here we go, guys.
Do it.
My biggest issue is the way that they don't explain how the multiverse actually works when it comes to an individual person. Because listen.
Yes.
Bro, I went up. This is the whole thing I went through last night. So you got the multiverse, right? But they never fully explain that each individual person might have the same name, but they might not look the same as you from your dimension, or they might just live a completely different life. But it seems like within the multiverse of the MCU, all the characters kind of relatively take the same path, but kind of have different endings at where they are in their life.
Okay. There's this principle called show don't tell. They don't need to tell you when the movie starts with another Doctor Strange from another universe dying, and then our Doctor Strange burying him. They don't need to explain it. Like your brain makes the connection.
Bro, can you shut the fuck up? Can you listen?
Ryan did the same thing with the Batman about a small issue that he just went on and on about.
I heard it.
It was very entertaining last night. That's all I'm gonna say.
What was very entertaining last night?
Bro, can you fucking listen?
What happened last night? Now I want to know.
You guys wonder why it goes on.
No judgment. I just want to know what happened.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
shut up. You're making it worse.
I'm
sorry.
Oh my god. So
go.
They clearly establish to a certain extent that every character kind of turns out the same. Like every Doctor Strange we saw becomes a sorcerer, right? Every Wanda we've seen has her fucking witchcraft powers. But why is it when we go to the Illuminati, why is it we see a different Captain America and a different Captain Marvel?
You already know because it's another universe. The movie sets that up visually.
So wait, hold on.
No, they
Right,
don't.
look.
They don't set that up visually,
Right.
though.
Yes, they
Right.
do. There's another Doctor Strange who
right,
dies
hold
in the
on,
first
right.
2 minutes.
Right.
Yes, but
You
he's
know what-
still Benedict Cumberbatch is my point.
Okay,
He's
right.
still
Look,
the same physical person.
right. I'm trying to figure out the stance you're defending because it sounds like
The
if you were a
multiverse doesn't
casual
make-
fan. No,
The
Ryan, if you were a
Sixers just
casual
scored.
fan. No, look, if you're a casual
Yay.
fan, I would understand that perspective.
Go
But the fact that you and me and Dibes, we reviewed What If and Loki and like anyone that's been connected to this universe, we understand how this works. We don't need our hands held through the movie. But I think, if
But
it
that's
was
the thing,
a
we
casual
don't
fan,
understand how it works.
no, but if it was a casual fan walking in this, they're probably, oh, what the fuck is going on? But look, at the same time, most of the world has at least seen the general films that have been released. And I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like the explanation wasn't necessary, if that makes sense. I don't know.
But also, like, low-key, when you're listening to this stuff, you're watching, like, the multiverse, the entire concept itself, like, this stuff is made up. It's completely made up. So within
How
the
do you know?
rules,
How do you know?
let's not get into that conversation.
How do you know?
Regardless, I'm just saying, like,
How
you
do
have
you
to
know?
follow. Listen, you have to follow the rules within the universe, within the film that they've structured. You have to follow those rules and just roll with it. Which also, like, Gabe, I was like thinking about it today. Like, you were perfectly fine with Multiverse of Madness and those rules, but then Moon Knight in that finale and the rules within the series of Moon Knight, you were like completely like against what they were doing.
Did they
And-
pull something out of their ass? Like,
They literally compared time travel in Endgame to Back to the Future. Like, stop thinking about this too much.
No,
It is
no.
what it
I'm
is.
just saying,
no,
like,
no. Okay, let's talk about this because Moon Knight. I don't want to talk about Moon Knight for 20 minutes, but they pull shit out of their asses throughout the show, which is
Bro, did
sloppy
you not watch
screenwriting.
Multiverse of Madness, bro? They literally pulled
Tell
shit
me
out of
once
their
they did
ass.
that. One time they
the
did that.
rules still apply though, Gabriel.
Yes, one time they pulled something out of their asses like halfway through the film. Hey, Sixers almost scored.
Ew.
Bro, literally the ending of the movie.
One time they were like, "Oh, guess what? If you drink the souls of people, you become a giant lizard."
Which are the rules within that universe, and that's
they
fair.
Who told you that before it happened?
But who told
No,
you anything about the
Gabe.
multiverse before it happened? It's the same
The movie
situation.
did.
You're
The movie
following
explained
The movie
Wayne.
didn't tell you anything about the multiverse. It just
Okay,
Regardless,
hold on.
they fucking
Hold
on.
exist.
yes, Loretto. Yes, Loretto.
No, I'm
go
just
ahead.
saying, like, in an era in 2022, in a world that is dominated by Star Wars and Harry Potter and Marvel, I just feel like at some point we don't need an extensive exposition dump to just grasp
But
what we're witnessing.
The MCU is about to go into like cosmic, intergalactic travel. Like, it's gonna get
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. Are we really gonna get like, pegged down here on a couple of things like this? I don't
But
understand the point.
Hold on, Nicole said a good thing. Yes, rules one, you don't know shit in different universes. And that's my point.
Best
We
line.
don't know anything about the universes yet. We have a character who's been to 74, and we don't know a single thing about how any of the universes work.
So
But
you
those are
wanted,
like
you wanted
74
like
different movies too, right? Like we
What
can't
did-
sit there for 2 hours diving into it unless we have
You
a
don't have
story
to,
that
you
goes
don't have
with
to
it.
dive into it. For a movie that explains so much, they didn't explain the main multiverse.
why do you need that information to understand the movie?
Because I need to understand how the multiverse works in order to understand how the movie works.
The parts that matter for this movie
Because okay,
are explained here.
Gabe, because
Which is also
they say early on when you daywalk or shadow walk, whatever the fuck it's called in this movie, it has to be dream walking. It has to be in a hot. Did they say living body? I'm trying to remember.
They
No.
did not. That's kind of like the
No,
point
they
of the
didn't
third act.
specify.
It's
and
just the
that's what
point that when you
happened.
dream
Yeah.
walk, you put yourself in another universe of another body of yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
It
see,
wasn't specified.
that's the thing. It goes into explanation. That's where they just find a way around their own plot because
They
don't
never
wanna-
said
they
it
don't
has
wanna
to be
make fun.
alive. That's kind of like the
No,
point
I know,
of
but
the twist.
that's sort of my thing. Just like America Chavez, she doesn't know how she works her powers in, but because plot
Which was
says
key.
that, but because the plot says Doctor Strange has to be motivational and empowering for her. That's how she unlocks her power. He's like, you can do it. She looks at him. She's like, I know how I can do it now. And for some reason, her powers is she has to punch open a portal, but throughout the movie, it's all based off of emotion. So does her power work based off of emotion through her mind, or does she have to punch? Because why the fuck is she punching?
Have you ever seen
I wish you gave this
movie?
much thought in Hawkeye.
Dude, I did. I literally did. I went.
Honestly,
No way. Absolutely no way.
Okay,
Absolutely
Ryan, I have a question for you.
Hawaii not trying to be as complicated as this.
Ryan, I have a question. I have a question for you. I have a question for
We're
you.
clipping that.
How, if you have the power to move between universes, how do you move between universes? How do you do it?
I don't know. Clearly, to the movie, it's either punching or
No. To you.
Well, first of all, I can't do it, so I can't tell you. Do you know how to fucking?
You know why? Because transference between universes does not fucking exist. So you can do however the hell you want.
So Gabe,
make it up.
Gabe, hold up. So what you're telling me is because the movie, they're telling me she can use her powers any way she wants. Right. That's pretty much what you're saying.
No, the movie sets up she doesn't know how it works, and then she realizes how it works. It's like Spider-Man. It's like that scene in Spider-Man. He's at the roof and he can't like do the first one, the first Spider-Man, and he tries doing this, and he tries doing this. Yeah, it's the same thing.
But you're telling me she didn't try to punch the fucking.
Okay, let's talk about America Chavez. We're gonna talk about America Chavez.
She literally punches the fucking containment unit.
Okay, hold on.
And she doesn't do it.
Can let me say something. Go
ahead, Lo.
Please.
I will agree that in the grand scheme of things, maybe it's a little bit plot convenient, but in the moment of enjoying the film, maybe all America needed was someone to believe in her because she herself is alone and Doctor Strange in the beginning betrayed her, right? So I think in the context of the story that we saw,
hold up.
She needed someone to believe in her to give her the confidence to do it. Look, Superman couldn't fly immediately. He fell to the earth. Same thing. Tobey Maguire didn't know how to shoot his web. He figured it out. And it's like,
but you see, they rewrote their own story within the movie. At the beginning, she said, listen, she tells the Doctor Strange, Reno, you're the second Strange. No, she says it when they're sitting down eating pizza. She tells Wong in Spanish, he's only the second Doctor Strange that I've met, and he's already the one I don't like. But later on in the movie, she's like, throughout all the multiverses and all the Doctor Stranges, you're the one I've got to trust and like.
So I understand what you're saying. The only thing with Chavez is that, like, yes, she's been
why are you making that face? They totally retcon their own stuff in the beginning of the movie.
No, they didn't.
Bro, you're telling me the emotional.
I don't remember her saying that.
I don't either, but even if she did, it's fine.
You're telling me the emotional impact doesn't work when she doesn't.
When she does this every time, she won't trigger a portal to another universe. She needs to be in the right mindset and then do the thing, which is totally fine. It doesn't matter. What matters is the mindset, and that's what her arc is, to get to that mindset, and it's through getting a father figure. She lost her parents, so she gets that figure by the end of the film.
Like he builds her confidence for her, and sometimes that's enough. You know, the belief in you. Like Doctor Strange believed in her, and I like that. I thought that.
I don't know why he believes in her.
I just
she doesn't do shit in this movie other than
she's a kid, though. I think it has to do with the fact that she's a kid. He's a mentor, and like, as much as I think that she wasn't written properly, and I feel like that she was just protected the whole time, and I wish that they maybe could have shown her powers a bit more earlier in the film. I understand that it's warranted at the end of it. I completely get it, but it's the fact that, like, they labeled her as a kid who doesn't know how to control her powers at the very beginning of this, and it just doesn't make sense to me either, because if she's traveled to all of these dimensions with these Doctor Strange, she should be able to know how to control it by now. That's
because none of them had taken the approach that our Doctor Strange took, which is like, this is how it goes.
Herself,
I think the symbolism between Steven and America is that they both are basically fish out of water. They both are trying to find their place in their world. Steven, no matter who the Steven is, like, he doesn't know who he is. He questions all the time. Is he happy or not? He's got all the powers in the world, and he can't do one thing, which is make himself happy. Then he looks at America, who's been basically hopping multiverse to multiverse her entire life to find who she is. There's definite parallels here. Again, I'm not looking into this much. I just enjoy it. I eat my popcorn and put my feet up. That's all I don't
understand the nitpick, to be honest. I don't understand the nitpick. The movie, she has an arc in the movie, which is realizing what her powers are. He has an arc in the movie, which is realizing that he can be a mentor and not just a dick that saves the world by being a dick, which is what he's done for 2 movies in a row. Like that's what the movie's about. I don't get it. Also, did anybody here watch like Mystery Men, that superhero movie? Did you get reminded of the guy that could only go invisible when like nobody was looking at him?
Yeah.
I was thinking of him when she couldn't control her powers. Anyway, sorry, sidebar.
No, but look, can I say one more thing? And this is just film in general. This is just film in a nutshell. So, look, Rye, I get it. Like you were unhappy with the way that was written, and it didn't hit for you, right? But on the inverse of that, like the first time I watched this, when she was like. And she took a breath and she believed in herself and she was like, I can do this. Like for me, I was like, fuck yeah, go America. Like, let's go. Like, I just was into it. I was excited for her. I was excited in the moment. And I don't know, maybe I'm biased because I'm such a Sam Raimi fan. But like I said, I really enjoyed damn near every second of this film. And maybe it didn't work for you, but for me, it worked, and I was on board. So I don't know. Like,
I will say,
I
actually went in this movie thinking I was gonna not like America Chavez at all. I don't know if I'm alone in that.
Me too. Because
I thought she was just gonna muddle the plot. I thought she was just holding Wanda and Steven back and everyone else, Mordo. Going into this, I was kind of confused why she was in it to begin with a little bit, and I thought they developed her character okay. I came out of this movie thinking she was fine. I thought her interaction with Steven and Wong was natural. I thought it was better than I expected coming out of this.
Me too. I told you guys, like, she wasn't in the marketing materials very much. In the poster, she's like in the corner. You know, like,
they stole this movie off the fucking cameo, bro. Goes back to the title, in the Multiverse of Madness.
So let's
but she's a main character in it. Like, but the marketing materials,
but they protected her.
The marketing materials were not focused on her at all.
Right.
So I thought that's probably because Disney doesn't really trust, what they got with the performance, and I thought she was really good. Like, she's a walking MacGuffin, and she was great at it.
No, I agree, Gabe. I really liked her, but the character as a whole didn't really work. Like you said, MacGuffin, she wasn't written the wellest, but I like the character enough and the actress that portrays her.
Yeah, that's a credit to the actress. The screenplay doesn't give her that much, but she's like I said,
best. The only thing they give her is screaming and running in this movie. They try to do a little something on Earth 838 with the memory window, but it's just like, okay, you guys are never gonna touch upon this again. They're literally gonna stop the whole event of Wanda trying to take her, and she's just gonna go back to Comertage and completely forget about trying to find her family. And just
you're right. That was something I did notice. That was something that they left in the cutting room and I'm like, for sure, because she should have been like, okay, now I'm on the journey to find my parents, and she did. She just stayed. I think that was.
It seems like they really just wanted to make her a side character, or keep her as a side character, and I'm like, why, bro? You guys have a strong actress. I'm sure if you guys get strong enough writers and you can tell a fucking 6-part Disney Plus multiversal travel show with American Chavez.
If they do that with Young Avengers,
why do they gotta do that with Young Avengers, bro?
Like, I didn't get that.
How else are we gonna get that? I think they would do it best with the Young Avengers show. Yeah,
no, look, hey guys, is it weird? I didn't get that at all. When I saw her in Comertage, I just figured, she's kind of just learning how to be a better version of herself.
No, because her whole fucking story because the whole story they built around her was feeling guilty about killing her parents. So wouldn't you want to think that because it's so oblivious or ambiguous that they kind of just flew into the multiverse, that the idea of them kind of being anywhere would intrigue her to go out there to at least look?
But what's wrong with looking missing art so that she's prepared to go travel on her own? Like,
because if she doesn't understand her powers, how is she gonna go through everything without understanding her powers?
It goes back to the writing.
She'd been to 73 universes already.
Yeah,
she says that, looking for her parents.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
But see,
I mean,
it goes back to how is she going through 73 different universes looking for them if she doesn't even know how to go through them? How is she going through them without knowing how she's actually doing it? She says she only does it out of fear. It only happened out of fear when her emotions were crazy. I can't imagine her emotions going crazy 73 fucking times. And imagine she might have appeared in the same universe again. She might not have gone to 73 separate universes.
Right, but we're never gonna know that now.
That's my point.
Right, but
no, but
Ryan, then
that
you want a
tell
whole
us.
movie of just America Chavez.
Exactly.
Like we can't
You
do
don't need
that
to
in 2
know that.
hours with Doctor Strange. We can't do that.
They spend all this time with Doctor Strange and America Chavez together, and they don't even mention it.
Because they're trying to go get Wanda. Like, that's the whole story. If Wanda was not... Listen, if Wanda...
They're not going to get Wanda, though. They're going to get the book.
Whatever the hell they were doing, if Wanda was not in this, we would have so much more character development for Chavez, and we have so much more for Doctor Strange to do. If we had like a buddy cop duo type of situation with the two of them, without Wanda, this would be an entirely different movie.
There's nothing against the book about Wanda in this story. Nothing.
It has nothing to do with Wanda being in this movie. And you know what? I'll say this. It might take out some of the I think they should have cut Christine in favor of having more America Chavez. Because I think they could have gotten a better emotional arc between the mentorship and mentee relationship.
But they did. Like
no. They half-assed it. It didn't work.
Regardless of how we're going to talk about introductions. We're going to talk about these damn cameos, okay? So we're going to talk about America Chavez introduction being freaking flawed, which she should have gotten her like own show to begin with. They should have had a Young Avengers show.
Okay,
wait, let me finish. I'm talking about introductions. The introduction for Reed Richards really pissed me off because that is Reed Richards. It is Reed Richards. You have John Krasinski. That should have been a casting announcement instead of a cameo. You're throwing him away in this, especially after the fact that you have to show off Wanda's powers to kill him. Literally to kill him, which is the most irritating thing in the world for me. Okay? Then you have useless cameos that no one cares about. Black Bolt, no offense to the actor. Okay? No one cares. 2 cents, literally nothing. And then you have the cast of the Illuminati where everyone's like, oh, expectations, Multiverse of Madness, we're up here. And then they showed them in the TV spots, all of that. Regardless, these intros to the Illuminati, weak as hell, only to kill them off, which is absolute fan service to have them there. And that is the turning point of the movie for me, where it went downhill right after. And if it wasn't for the visuals, and if it wasn't for Wanda, okay, I would not have been as entertained because it really pissed me off after that point. So if we're talking about introductions, they shoehorn stuff in and it really annoyed me. So like, I just can't handle the cameos and they really needed time with these different characters. Yes, I just went on a rant.
Can we talk about how you said that's the worst thing in the world for you? It just sounds like first world problems to me.
But
like,
it pissed
honestly.
me off because it's the same
There's
thing.
There's a war in Ukraine, you know.
I understand that. I get heated, but it's the same thing with the Mahershala Ali voice in the corner in the post-credit scene for Eternals. Like, it's Mahershala Ali. You heard his voice. Where the hell else is it gonna be, Gabe? Like, that's what's annoying. We didn't see him. I'm pretty sure
he's actually credited.
If he's credited, that's even worse. So it's the fact that like you're throwing away these actors.
Like, do you remember when they like first introduced like Nick Fury? It was the same thing. It was the exact same thing.
You saw him. You literally saw him, and that's
end
of the movie. Did he die in the first movie, Gabriel?
That would have been awesome. It was awesome that they killed him. I was like, yes, Spaghetti Krasinski.
Can I ask you something, Amanda?
That really bothered me. Yeah.
Can I ask you something? Like, let's just say a month from now, they announce the Fantastic Four film, and it's not John Krasinski as Reed Richards. Would that make you feel better? Because I feel like that also is a possibility.
It's a possibility. It would still irritate me because you're bringing Reed Richards in. You're bringing Reed Richards in. You kill him. It's a different actor, but hold up, we're gonna cast the entire. But
it's the Reed Richards from 838. So I feel like anything that happened in 838 was inconsequential, and I felt like it just serviced the film. That's why I just had fun with it.
which is fine. But then what was the point? You could have had
There
all
was no
that
point to
writing.
that.
That's what I'm saying. All of that writing, like Ryan's been saying,
That's-
is like could have
that's
gone
the
to
point.
Chavez.
Like, so
could have
it's,
gone to Strange.
So I agree with that. Like,
But
the
it's-
cameos are pointless, but
but like,
That's what I'm saying,
okay,
it sucks.
so it's hilarious when Ryan Reynolds presents X-Force and they all die. It's funny when James
didn't
Gunn
like
has
that
the
either.
Suicide Squad and they all die.
No,
it either.
It's
absolutely.
not funny when Sam Raimi does it. Come on, guys.
No, absolutely.
I didn't like any of that though, but that's
There's
just me.
absolutely a
I
difference.
actually
Is that
agree
the
with
worst thing in
Dives,
the
like-
world?
Like
I bet this is exactly like I think this is the issue. Like, we're having fun with this, where other people are just getting upset because it wasn't what they expected or wasn't what they wanted, and I think that's the main thing here. I think that's what's happening.
No,
if you
I
had fun with it, great. But that's just like it was a peeve of mine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No,
Get so
look,
mad.
I'm gonna be honest.
Like-
I'm gonna be honest. I fucking laughed my ass off when
Me
he got
too.
it into string cheese. I laughed.
I
was
thought it was
like, oh shit!
Every
That's
single
fucking
death,
film, like,
I was just waiting, like when because there's a
This was-
point where she like sends like Captain Marvel away, like she flies away, and I was like, I hope that's not her death because I wanted like a violent death, and then she's just like throws a statue.
was-
and stuff. That was beautiful.
This was the moment that I think the movie separated itself from the MCU. Every single copy and paste MCU film, that's not how this goes at all.
Right.
And I really respected that Kevin Feige and MCU were like, go Sam Raimi, let fucking loose and do what you want. This was the moment where Into the Multiverse of Madness actually separated itself and became so fresh, so original, and you had no idea what to expect. That was my favorite moment because at this moment, that's when the movie got better and better for me.
Interesting. Okay.
can I
that's
speak to
fair.
your cameo take though
Yeah.
one more time? Last time?
Fuck no, Loretto.
No, my
Go ahead.
only issue is that here's my take. Marvel fucked their marketing. I think it's manipulative and almost clickbait-ish, to use that term for all the kids out there. It's
true.
clickbait-ish to show Professor Xavier, to not really have him be relevant to the plot and kill him off. So I agree, the
Yeah.
cameos were a waste, but I feel like if this film was marketed better and we just saw those cameos and we saw it without going in blind, and then oh shit, they're
Yeah.
there, oh shit, they're dead, what the fuck,
Yeah.
one is crazy. Like, for me, that would have been a perfect experience and would have raised my overall experience. But at the same
Same.
time, though, the pointlessness of the cameos didn't ruin the film for me, if that makes sense, because they didn't, not only were they inconsequential to the plot, but they didn't take away from it either. So
I don't think they're pointless though. Like I would disagree with that take. I get what you guys are saying, that this movie was not the one you thought it was gonna be, but like they're not pointless. They actually show you how strong she is. I'm like
But we
utterly
know that.
we are. Who knows?
No,
that?
we didn't. We
When-
didn't know that yet. We did
We
not
didn't know
know
that.
that
We
But
yet.
did not
guys,
know that.
we've always said she was one of the
No,
strongest,
that's
most
not
powerful.
in this
Never.
MCU. She is in
Never.
the comics. Not in
Never
this.
in the Avengers. I didn't know she was that strong. I didn't know she could just like make somebody's mouth disappear and then his brains come out. I did not know she could do that, and she just did it. So no, the movie. Okay, let's talk about this, because it's like you don't need 20 shows to set up this movie. This movie sets up what you need to know for this movie during this movie. Like, what you need to know about Wanda is that she believes she has kids that don't exist. It doesn't matter if, she was dating Vision during, like a 1960s TV show. That is completely irrelevant for here. Here you need to know she's a woman that believes she has kids that don't exist in this universe, and she wants to get the kids from another universe. That's all you need to know. And it's the same with everything else in this movie. Like what do you know about Wanda in this movie? She was an Avenger, and now she has this personal motivation to get to other universes because she wants to get her kids. Okay, well, what is Wanda gonna do? She's just the most random third grade Avenger. Okay, well, have her kill a whole bunch of the most powerful Avengers ever. That's how you show how powerful she is. Like,
get it.
it's what it is.
I
And
know.
also, it's incredibly entertaining. It's a great action sequence where Sam Raimi got to do a lot of things that nobody else had ever done. For God's sake, she splits Captain Carter in half.
It was amazing.
That was
I can't
amazing.
believe they did that. I cannot
Not after
believe
that
it.
line. Not after that line.
I'm here for all of the superheroes being cut in half. Give me more of
get
that.
it.
Can
I
I
get it.
ask you guys something?
Yes.
Sure.
In regards to Wanda being the villain.
Oh boy.
I know, because I already know what me saying is gonna happen. I already know the reaction. because
hide.
I'm gonna need someone to help explain this if I don't understand it. Because even after the second viewing, this is what I got out of it. So Wanda, her children never existed, right?
Yes.
From
Right.
WandaVision. They were never physical beings. They were just a figment of her imagination that she created to be real, right?
Yes.
So her whole motivation throughout this movie is to try to find her children throughout the multiverse. And it goes back to writing and setting up how the multiverse for individual characters work. Because how are they real in every other universe if they don't actually exist in ours? So it also goes, again, why is she going to another universe to take another version of Wanda's life if she can clearly just... I'm going to butcher the name.
I don't think she saw through that. That like when Doctor Strange questioned her, I don't think she's so full of guilt, so full of sorrow, so full of trauma that I don't think she even saw through her own plan. And that was why, like, in the moment when she saw herself scaring her kids, Wiccan and Speed, like, that was the moment that she was like, oh my God.
That's one of my favorite moments.
But my thing is, there's a plan in here where it doesn't create this movie. I think that Wanda can literally just what is it called? Daydream, daywalk? What's it called?
Dream walk.
Train walk? What the fuck?
Dream walk.
Dream walk. Right,
So-
come on.
So she can dream walk. So why can't she just dream walk in an alternate reality version of herself and live in that world if she's already willing to just recreate her? But it's not going to be regardless. It's not real regardless, is my point.
Which
No, I think the point of the movie. Oh, sorry, man.
No, go ahead, Dives. Continue. Yeah.
I think the point of the movie is like, yeah, she's a superhero, but we're all flawed people. You know, there's no such thing. Even though you're a superhero, doesn't mean you're invincible. At the end of the day, your instincts is protect your own. Like, how far would a mother go to protect their own? I think that's what
she even says in the beginning. She doesn't want to kill anyone. That America's the one exception, and Doctor Strange even has a line. That's exactly what.
Listen, I agree that they kind of abruptly skipped the Darkhold and how powerful that is.
Yes,
and that's the problem.
It was definitely Daenerys Targaryen. You know, season 6 version of Game of Thrones. It was very sudden. I agree. I can't deny that. Oh, what just happened? Who did that? Yang? Nice. And what happened was that was very fast.
Jorge Jen?
Oh, God, it just hit one on the other end. But what happened was, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Go ahead, man.
Baseball sucks.
Anyways,
Baseball sucks.
So the scene that we're talking about,
Basketball's on.
Is that what you're watching?
Yes.
They don't watch baseball because it's
Apparently, Gabe lives under a rock. He doesn't know it's fucking playoff basketball right now.
Come on, and hockey playoffs on top of that.
No one cares about hockey.
I know. Anyways,
What is hockey?
Exactly.
It's hockey time. We have to do the HA and the. Anyways, I'm gonna get into it. I love that scene at the end, and we're gonna get into favorite moments now because we brought it up. I think that Chavez getting the power, going through that multiverse, and then showing Scarlet Witch the kids, and then them being absolutely terrified, completely broke me. Because then you have the other Wanda looking at her, trying to protect her children, and the whole point. Yeah, go ahead, Dibes. Yeah.
No, go ahead, finish it. But I want to piggyback off of that because
okay, no problem. I literally started tearing up, and it was very emotional in that case because I just didn't expect it to be hit in that way, and I love that Strange knew the right moment for Chavez to bring her back, and it was just like that was the one scene where I'm like, they really let it breathe, and they just let what they were showing you overtake the audience with those emotions in connectivity to what we saw in WandaVision. So that was a beautiful scene. Again, Elizabeth Olsen knocks it out of the park. One of my favorite moments. And like that made the ending for me, as much as I dreaded getting there because it was a bit slow, the pacing in that case. But that moment with Chavez coming into her own and then Elizabeth putting on a clinic, I just really, really loved it. But yeah, go ahead, Dibes.
So did anybody else
the Sixers play basketball?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Gabe, just shut the fuck up. Just stop talking. Stop.
Bring it in. Let's bring it in, guys. Bring it in. Bring it in.
Also, Dave,
anybody-
what Tyler said was the reason why I made that comment about Loretto's shirt earlier, because
Oh
they
my
show
God.
all this stuff with her children, and they're like, "Oh my God, I love them so much," but I'm like, but you also love the Vision all throughout WandaVision.
Where
So,
was
like,
Spider-Man? Where
okay,
was Rhodey? Where was what's
Okay,
her face
let's
from
bring it back
Hawkeye?
and talking about favorite moments.
bro. What are you talking about?
No,
Why
Ryan,
what do they
stop.
matter?
Ryan,
What's
Ryan,
her
stop. We're gonna
name?
talk
What's her
about
name?
favorite moments.
Haley, what's her face? Where was she? What was she? What shooting arrows
Okay,
at the trolls?
Yes. Dives, continue.
Hey,
I
put some respect on Kate Bishop's name, Gabe.
Yeah.
Oh
Kate
my
Bishop.
God.
I thought the parallel in that final moment with Scarlet Witch was really fun because the entire time I was watching that, I went straight to Spider-Man 2. Like you literally could just copy and paste Alfred Molina with Elizabeth Olsen and be like, "I will not die a monster." And right when Wanda makes the kind of like the sacrificial play, like I can't do this. I see what the consequences of
It was so
my
Let's
actions.
keep her
here. It was awesome.
dead.
It was awesome. Real quick, favorite moments. I thought the best moments here are some of the best peak Sam Raimi moments. 100%. I'm going to leave my one to Loretto because I know he's going to get to it. But the one where the music fight scene was really, really fun. I was really digging the music fight scene.
That Elfman score.
the best.
Yeah, like when you have like
Yes.
Strange was playing Beethoven Symphony 5, and then what was that? The Evil Strange was like throwing it back with the Bach piece. Like that was a really amazing moment, and that kind of I think led into the dead body with the multiverse doppelganger, where he formed wings out of like zombies and souls. That spirit cloak was like just absolutely incredible. Two of my favorite moments right there. But I think Lo should go next because that goes into my other favorite moment.
Yeah, for sure.
That made me just geek out so hard.
Oh, was that an official transition? I'm sorry. I totally
Yes,
skipped a beat there.
Loretto.
So real quick.
She's considerate at least.
I think this is what he was referring to, but I want it's an honorable mention. It wasn't my absolute favorite moment, but I will admit I stood up and cheered when we saw Professor Charles Xavier not only on the yellow hover chair, but Danny Elfman, thank you, sir, inserted the 1990s X-Men theme.
Yeah.
It was so great, man. I was
Just a frame. I was like, yes! I couldn't even restrain myself. It was such an epic moment. I love that so much. But look, my actual favorite moment though, because I'm a big Lord of the Rings guys. You guys know this. I'm a ringer. I'm big on epic grand moments. And look, and this was awesome. Seeing the drums for Kamar-Taj, the dun, 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 and they lined up, the wizards were lined up like, yo, the Scarlet fucking Witch is coming. Wizards gets our shit. This is the fucking moment. We need to defend ourselves. Like, I loved that. And I'm not even a big like Harry Potter guy, but just fantasy elements, battle, like just grand battles, just entertaining. It reminded me a lot of like Helm's Deep, like holy shit, a great force is coming, buckle down, we're in for some shit. And holy hell, Wanda wrecked Kamar-Taj. That just blew my mind. And to follow that up, that favorite moment of the battle, it literally leaked into Evil Dead. It turned into Evil Dead the second that America and Doctor Strange and Wong were in the sanctuary trying to hide. It was Evil Dead with the windows closing, the zooms on the faces. Wanda's coming out of the water.
Yes, he comes out of the mirror like doing
That was so fun. And Ryan, I'm sorry, bro. Like, dude, I fucking love like the Evil Dead series, and just to see that come to life in a Marvel film.
No,
like, dude,
I do too.
That's fun. Like, that's fun. Like, you asked me, how did you have
I don't
fun?
disagree.
Like,
I told you.
that is awesome.
Sam Raimi saved a lot of this for me.
Yeah,
a lot of my problems are with the scripts.
No, but look, I admit, I agree with some of your takes, but at the same time, like, I had so much fun during those moments. It makes me not worry about some of the littler, like, nitpicky stuff. You know what I mean?
But like the whole,
I have this image of like Theoden like going like "Arise now" at Kamar-Taj.
Dude, hey Wong, hey look, y'all said Wong didn't do enough. I thought Wong he did his role. I love that. Like, fortify your minds, shields. I was
It
like,
was so
yes.
good.
Like, I loved every second of
He was a bit
Commentage. Like,
weak. Like he was a bit weak.
He needed
They're like,
more.
"Oh, I'm just gonna torture the Minotaur for like 2 seconds." Okay,
He
okay.
needed more.
It was a bit.
I like how they just
okay,
threw
now
a
you're getting
Minotaur in there.
nitpicky,
and
Gabe.
nothing.
Don't join the dark side, man. Come
I know,
on.
I know. I'm on your
Whoa,
side. I'm on your side.
Gabriel, favorite moment. Let's
Favorite
go.
moment. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the moment I had the most fun was when like Doctor Strange is like a corpse, and he starts being taunted by like the spirits of the damned. That's when like Sam Raimi was like, I'm
Fuck
gonna
it.
do my own thing for 5 minutes. He's like, screw it. And they start taunting him like the Deadites in Evil Dead 2 or 1. That was a lot of fun. And then he's just like use them. That was like my best moment, because like I didn't expect any of the cameos. I didn't know anybody was gonna be here except for Patrick Stewart. I like when Krasinski showed up, I was like, really? I thought this was like an internet thing. You know, for a second I was like, wasn't Krasinski like the internet casting?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Bang,
right?
that's for sure. Yup.
Like,
That's
turns
why-
out
that's why-
internet casting is real casting
That's
now.
why
Like,
it bothered
they keep
me.
doing that.
but-
Yeah. So, but that moment was my favorite.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm pretty sure you had like one favorite moment.
No.
Oh come on,
When it
something.
ended. When it ended.
That would have been the perfect
No.
answer for
No,
that.
I,
But
I
like,
got
you
a
missed
favorite
it.
moment.
Yeah,
Okay.
What is it?
But you guys want to be pessimistic motherfuckers, so
Yes. Do it. Pessimist.
So it's when I don't know the name of the character that came up behind Wong when he was like
Stephen
kind of
Strange.
trapped. No, the fucking female one that destroyed the Darkhold.
yeah, that
and-
lady. Yeah.
Yeah,
The entire scene of Wanda like transitioning between our reality and 838s, and the way the camera moves and a shot going back and forth, it's just like it kind of just made the filmmaker and me nut to an absolute oblivion, because I thought it was a gorgeous scene and I'm like, holy fuck, I want more of this. And just like all of his transitions in this movie were just fucking amazing. I'm just
So
like, that's cool. That's great as shit. Like, so when you can think of innovative ways to transition a good portion of your film, that says a lot about who you are as a director and the way you set up your shots and think about everything pre-production when it comes to the camera. So that, like I said, a lot of the stuff I love is because of Raimi and because of you, Loretto, with the horror stuff was fantastic. And throughout the entire movie, walking in, I'm like, oh man, when is he gonna do like the Force first person point of view of it kind of hovering around the little spatial area? And when that popped up, I'm like, I fucking love that. That was the Evil Dead moment for me that I was waiting for. So
Hey, can I ask you guys?
love it.
When we enter Xavier's mind with the white background and he sees the rubble and he walks up to it, and then Wanda's hand pops out, did anybody get a jump scare from the crowd? Because there was like
No.
a girl next to me that like her soul left her body. Like I didn't get scared
Rachel
because I knew it
did
was
the
coming,
same.
but yeah,
It
I
was
got
so
scared.
Jumped.
I
yeah.
got scared at a different spot, but that spot, half of my audience fucking just jumped. It was awesome. Like,
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so I hate to be negative and Nelly. One more thing I want to bring up. Something that I
We're
found.
talking about positives, right?
No, I know. No, I know. It's only because I love this character. It's about Charles Xavier.
Oh.
I just didn't see the point of the whole him going into her mind scene to try and save the 838 Wanda stuck under the rubble. And when he went to
he says the point of that.
That's literally
There's a line where he
Even if he
Yeah,
didn't, I
Listen,
would have
listen.
understood
Stop,
it.
stop, hold
Show,
on.
not
Hold up
telling.
before you guys
It's
start
right
yelling.
there.
Hold up. I get the
Gonna
point of it.
start
but,
yelling.
Bro, he does not give, and neither one of them gives an ounce of effort trying to get out of that. He's like, let me help you out.
because the man is 81 years old. What are
I
you
was
talking
just
about?
to say
Yeah.
that.
okay,
I think the point of this entire scene is how fraudulent and embarrassment the Illuminati was. Tyler touched on it. Like Reed Richards steps in and like tells
See,
the
you're
entire
doing that with
hold on.
based knowledge.
tells the weakness for Black Bolt to Wanda from the jump. But that is the Illuminati. Like in the comics, like they're a group that are frauds. Like they're
But see, you don't
extremely
know that in the
arrogant.
movie.
Their plan always doesn't work because it comes back to their arrogance typically, and it just gets shot in their face. And I think the Professor X moment and the mind moment, that is Professor X to a T. You has this supreme godlike figure trying to kill everybody, literally killing everybody. What is Professor X's first go-to is to help. It's to help and understand the motivations and what is wrong with this person. It's not to kill them, it's to fix them and help them. That's the point.
And
That
also,
is
look,
not what I
while
got
while
from
I
that.
felt the other cameos were purely fan service, especially Mr. Reed Richards.
Hold up, sorry, I gotta
Look-
say that's not what that scene was about by any stretch of the imagination in his
But
head.
that's who
In that
Charles
one.
Xavier is,
Yeah.
though.
He's really trying to help her in the role.
Ryan, go
He
watch
said
the
it.
X-Men
There's
back
a line.
then.
You
Like,
want people to explain shit to you in the movie. He literally does that. He explains, this is
No,
what
and
I'm
also,
doing here.
Okay,
like as much as I think the cameos were kind of wasted, but Patrick Stewart really makes his count. Like, for example, he is the one who
I agree.
believes in 616 Doctor Strange. And then when he goes into the mind,
So wait,
he wants to help.
Hey,
and that's
hey.
who Charles is. Like, that's perfect. Like,
I get that. I understand
Ryan,
that. I didn't have an
he
issue with
believes
it.
in. No, wait, hold up. He believes in him, yet he leaves him locked up with Mordo, and they still have to vote on it.
That's
But
just
yet if
that's
he
how
believed
the
in,
Illuminati works, though.
but that's the thing. You guys keep saying that's how the Illuminati works.
wait, hold on. Right. Look. As a defender of the X-Men, dude, he trusted Steven to get past Mordo and to do what he needed to do. Because he told him, he looked at him, he said, Steven, you need to get to the book of Vishanti. That's all he said. He didn't say, I'm going to help you, I'm going to do this and that.
Yeah, but
he
then
just told him, that's what you need to do. It's here. You know what I mean? Like, and then he tried to help Wanda, and he failed. But, I mean, that's also, to me, to Gabe's point, it just showed how powerful Wanda was in the moment. And I think it worked for the third act, for the climax of the picture.
Okay.
I love that you called it a picture.
So I get that there are flaws. I get it. We've went into it. Trust. But like the movie's not that bad. But for me, it's like I enjoy it for the most part. I understand that people are hyped for like Sam Raimi and like the horror elements, and I really love that aspect. But with the script issues, it brought it down for me. So we're gonna get into grades. We're gonna
But
do like
Amanda,
movie-
I don't understand. You haven't like I'm sorry we might have interrupted you when you wanted to make
It's
this
okay.
point. But
I said majority of it.
the movie lost you after the cameos
It
because
did.
in
It
your
took
head
me
you wanted
out.
the cameos to do something else.
Yeah.
But like, you think that's a fair assessment of the movie, or is it a fair assessment of the movie, like compared to what
Well,
you
for
thought it
me-
was gonna be?
For me, the writing just got worse after that. Until
Because-
the Wanda scenes were great, but then everything else with like Strange just didn't really do much for me, and it felt like it was dragging in the second half. And until like we got Wanda, so every single Wanda scene, I'm like, yay, she's here. Like I shouldn't be dependent on the Scarlet
That's-
Witch to make this movie better for me. That's just me, because like I would, yeah.
That scene of Wanda chasing Doctor Strange and America Chavez and Christine through the tunnels was probably the closest thing we'll ever see as a horror genre in the MCU, man. That was awesome. That was after the cameos. That was a terrific scene.
Did anybody get Terminator 2 vibes from that
Nope.
scene? I was like, wow, that's like the T-1000.
Yeah,
Actually,
I got
I
it.
got more like David Fincher Alien 3 vibes, because David Fincher
Okay.
had the corridors with the
Yes.
doors. Like,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh my God, close the door, close the door, close the door. Oh, shit. Like,
But then she keeps
that's what I got
wasting
from
the
that.
doors. It's like, okay, another one. Boom. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like,
No, and
like,
that's what I got. I was like,
They
oh,
were-
fuck. We went like Alien here. Like,
yeah, how pointless
Okay.
this is. Like, you can throw whatever you want at her. She just keeps going.
It was cool because of her. Everything else, I did not care, and like
I
that's
mean,
that
but
shouldn't have
the
happened.
scene was focused on her. Like, she
Yes,
was
I'm not-
supposed to
okay,
be the coolest thing of
sorry.
the scene.
After that scene in particular, the rest of it, when she was not there, or like whenever she wasn't on screen, that's where it was like it
You
was.
didn't
rough
like.
for me to
We
sit
just
through.
talked about the Deadite scene. Like, she wasn't there on screen. That was awesome. You agreed.
It was okay.
Am I
Like-
like impeaching you here on
You
screen?
are, because I'm just like I'm like I thought the writing got weaker. Yeah, everything was cool. It looked great. Visuals were awesome, but like I just wanted it to end, and I felt like it was just really slow.
Expectations
that
were way
ending.
too high for this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
get,
Both
but
of you,
that's
and
like-
it's not personal,
Nah.
but both of you, the burden of expectations got to you, and it happens to the best of us. Honestly, like many of us, expected something, and the movies are something else.
That's an unfair criticism to say.
But that's all you've said today.
Okay, I'm about to explain, but that's an unfair criticism when Marvel sold a completely different film in its title and its campaigns.
That is fair. That is. I mean, the campaign I think was pretty close to what it was.
No, it wasn't, bro. Just like you said, no America Chavez, and the entire plot line revolves around America Chavez.
I know,
and you
but
would
that
not
was
even know that from the trailers.
Yeah,
if anything, from the trailers, you would get that they're going through.
That was not what you disliked. What you disliked was not her or her presence in the movie. What you disliked were other things. So I don't know if that marketing was misleading as much as it was focused on something else.
It is misleading because it fails on the aspects that it was trying to market. It was trying to market this big, massive multiverse movie, when in reality, it wasn't that, which I'm totally fine with. But when you don't make and sell this totally massive multiverse movie and you keep it pretty tame and you don't even live up to that fact, that's where I have the problem.
So
I get it.
That was my fears going into this movie, and I'm actually happy that we didn't get that.
Can I ask you something, Rye?
No,
like as a friend, like bro.
Sure.
No, like
we're not
seriously,
friends on the stream. But
Were you
No,
gonna
seriously,
ask
no,
me
seriously.
as not my friend?
No,
Jesus.
Go ahead, Lo.
Okay, as a casual YouTube commenter, Mr. Just Ryan again, at Just Ryan again. Check this out. Would you have been happier if Doctor Strange became part of the Guardians of the Multiverse to fight Wanda? Would that have been more exciting for you? Like, is that what you wanted?
This is exactly what I picture, just from the title. Content, whatever they've shown aside, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. They keep the exact same plot line. Just instead of them staying in one multiverse and encountering the Illuminati and being stuck there for the second act, have them being chased throughout the multiverse and still have America Chavez still figure out her powers, but have her know to a certain extent, but have some sort of ramifications that she has to learn throughout the movie to get her to the place that I feel like they try to get her at the end of this movie. And my only is that not a plot is Xavier dying. Now everyone thought that seeing him would take away from death, but him dying takes away all emotion. See, I literally brought this tweet up like a week ago. Asking if his role in this movie ruins the significance of Logan.
Different
He
Xavier.
died already before Logan. It doesn't matter.
It's a different Xavier,
Honestly,
it
he
didn't bother me.
before.
If anything, I was like crying when I saw him. So like,
Wait,
it really didn't.
Are you
bother
sure?
me.
Wait.
Xavier though.
Question. This for
Yes.
Loretto, do you think this is the X-Men, the animated series, Charles Xavier? Was that your vibe?
I mean, I thought that's what was implied, but at the same time, like I said, with if we're talking about infinite multiverses, it's this 838 universe, whatever it is, it just feels inconsequential. Like they set it up so that when they all die, it wouldn't hurt us at the very end of the film. Like it's just that happened. I admit that's convenient and it's kind of pointless, but
I see the Illuminati stuff. Other than the fact that Marvel just hates like Haley Atwell for some reason, like bro, they even give her a fucking titular role and they still reduce.
She had her own show and it failed. You remember?
Well, that's why they
didn't necessarily.
Honestly,
I think it was a joke in itself, man. I thought it was like almost like laughing at the MCU in itself. I thought it was perfect Sam Raimi.
But
I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's funny when other mediums do it, but when the MCU does it, it's not funny, I guess.
What is making fun of Haley Atwell? Or what?
No, when like they set up these things to be like the X-Force or set up these things to be different things. What's the other one? I'm drawing a blank. I said it earlier in the show. I don't remember what I called it. Suicide Squad, and like they all die. They all die in the beginning. It's funny. Like we
awesome.
we have expectations in our head, and I thought that was a fun that added to the roller coaster journey of this film.
Can I say something about the Illuminati though? Because if they wanted to really do this and fuck with us and have fun and be stupid, because Marvel gave us Ralph Boner and they're like fuck you, and they did it again here. But how crazy would it have been if they got Robert Downey Jr. to fucking sit in one of those chairs? Oh my god, that would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but I think it would have been crazy for all the wrong reasons.
No, but like Tony Stark is a part of the Illuminati. That would have been
there,
hilarious.
too soon.
I was waiting
I
for
feel like
Robert
it's too
Downey Jr. to show up, or sorry, Tom Cruise to show up as
Dude,
Iron Man.
same. No, I thought we were gonna get Tony Stark. When I saw the chairs and there was one empty, I was like, "Holy shit, is that Stark?" Like,
but this was like that was like my take, my vibe with this whole like cameo thing, and then the entire Illuminati getting wiped out. Like, don't take this too seriously. Like, don't. Like, that was right. That's right. That's what it is, right? Like,
that was my vibe.
It's literally telling fans, like, here's you guys get 5 minutes. Fuck yourself.
Jeebs, that's not the thing. It's not that it's useless, but it's not that it's useless. It's cool. It's a good moment. But don't waste our fucking time when you have America Chavez in this story and do nothing with her.
What are you talking about? She has an arc. She's in the movie. She learns to use her power.
She
will
barely
be in the next
had
30
we're
movies.
gonna spiral back. I'm gonna get into grades now because we're gonna go spiral back and talk for another 20 about the exact same thing. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, and I literally did because I enjoyed it, but it's like in the middle of it for me. So the placement also is mid out of like 32 MCU projects. I put it at like I put like 15, 16 spot, which is entirely fair because I did enjoy it. Stop. It's entirely fair. I understand that like I have issues with it for sure, but I enjoyed it for the most part. Again, if it wasn't for Sam Raimi, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much. I would rewatch this one more than the first Doctor Strange. And that's why it's higher up than the first Doctor Strange, because I really enjoyed it that much. Because my Doctor Strange placement is at a 27. So I know, Dibes, don't hurt me. Like, I know that it's like that, it's that bad, but that's where I would like put it. So low, I'm gonna go to you. I need your grade for this movie.
Yay!
And then your placement in the MCU.
Hey, check it out. All right, so hold on, let me pull that up while I'm talking. And I just want to say, offhand, look, I understand this. I am a Sam Raimi fan. Okay, guys, I'm talking about Quick and the Dead, A Simple Plan, Darkman, Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, which some people don't even know it's related to the Evil Dead series. Oh, yeah, look, guys, I really like this guy, so I am biased, and every single Rami-ism moment with his camera and his zooms and going into eyeballs and the montages with the floating heads and Gabe, we talked about that Spider-Man 1 montage. He totally did something just like that in this film, and
he did.
I'm a fan of him, so I'm biased. That's number one. Number two, I think Marvel failed in their marketing. I think they mismarketed this film in a way that manipulated fans like, oh, X-Men, and it didn't really matter to anything. So that, again, they pulled the rug out from under us, just like they did in WandaVision. I didn't enjoy that. But lastly, I will also say that ultimately, at the end of the day, I had fun from end to finish. I felt that it was a complete story in what it was. It didn't give us too much. It didn't give us like less. It gave us just enough to have fun with what was happening on the screen. And with that being said, I'm sitting pretty strongly at a 9.6 in my ultimate MCU ranks.
Good.
It's firmly at number 10 right now. Ooh. And after another watch or two, it might go up. No, I almost moved it up. But,
as you should.
I'm feeling it. No, trust me. I wanted to put it into my. I wanted to put it into my top 5, but you know, the way I felt about Shang-Chi and Black Panther and Winter Soldier, it's Multiverse of Madness didn't quite edge that yet, but it's so great to see Sam Raimi back working, and it showed his passion. It showed his ability to. It doesn't matter if it's Spider-Man, Darkman, or Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange in the fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe. He knows how to frame superheroes. He knows how to frame exciting action and to have these horror sequences that maybe the script wasn't strong as we wanted, but I just had so much fun in the cinema, and I think that's what these movies are about. So that's all I'll say.
I hear you. You better move it. Move it up. Do it. Put it up there. You got to change it now. Dabs, what about you? Your grade is the movie for as a whole, and then the placement with the rest of the MCU films.
I think I put it at like number 7, 15, 17. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. But I give it an 8.5 out of 10. For me, I thought it was a really fun film. Listen, you know, there's movies where we like A24 movies where we can sit and like, you know, pick apart time travel and interdimensional traveling, and this ain't it. This is not the purpose. I'm like, I go into these movies, I just want a giant ass bucket of popcorn. I want to be entertained. I want to have fun. And I think starting at the top, Sam Raimi absolutely killed this film. And I'm really impressed, given that all the shit, with Scott Derrickson and everything going in, like from the jump, his fingerprints were all over this film. And I thought it really worked. And I had my concerns coming in with Sam Raimi and the director change. Didn't matter. It was awesome. I had my concerns with so many cameos, because that's all I heard. There was going to be like cameo. I'm like, for me personally, it was a Wanda and Steven story, and I'm here for it. They really went full Wanda being the villain, and that's all I wanted. That's really all I wanted here. I don't think she's dead, by the way. I think no one in the MCU truly dies. So I'm really excited about that. And they finally cemented her like as she is in the comics. She's not a hero. She's not a villain. She lives in that gray area where she like kind of does what she wants based on her trauma, based on her emotions, based on her coping mechanisms. It was awesome. I thought they really delivered on that respect. I thought the film score by Danny Elfman was absolutely terrific. I listened to it when I got home from work. It is that good. I can't wait to keep listening to it throughout the next week. I'm hoping to get another rewatch. So yeah, I think this was a very rewatchable film. I really can't wait to rewatch this. And I thought it got a lot more right. I agree. The writing was an issue. I don't like how Wong kind of got pushed to the side. He's that was kind of a thing. But for me, there are so many more positives about this movie. And a lot of those were my concerns. So for me, I give it an 8.5 out of 10.
Well, the only way you die in the MCU is if your contract expires.
Or they see your body.
Which is also true. It's true.
Real quick. Well, I had a brain fart while I was talking, but
okay.
also I don't know the character of America Chavez that well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that also plays into my bias of maybe if I did know her character, maybe I would be more upset. Because I know some people were upset. Ryan was upset with the way she was written, and I don't know her character, so I couldn't complain about it. But that's my last.
Which is fair. I got you. Rye, I need your grade for the movie and then the placement of this with the rest of the MCU films.
All right, so I give this like a 7.2 out of 10. I know it seems like I absolutely hate this movie, but I don't. Like I said, I think it's much easier to talk about the good and enjoy all that. But it's really nice to sit here and conversate about the things that didn't work sometimes. But yeah, I don't think Wanda's dead. I like her in the MCU, but I don't know. I'm kind of just like ready to move on from the whole Darkhold storyline because I feel like this movie kind of brushed over. I feel like there was this middle part of the story with the Darkhold in between this and WandaVision that they never released. Mm-hmm. So it kind of threw me off there. But out of the ranking, I gotta I put Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness at 29.
Out of how many?
33.
33, yeah.
Including the shows? What the fuck is wrong with you?
30. Yeah, including the shows.
Oh my god.
My
Gabe,
fucking god.
Gabe, do you want to know what's lower than it? The four movies that are lower than it?
What if the Incredible Hulk?
No, Gabe, shut up.
Captain Marvel.
Shut the fuck up. So with What If, it would make it 35. So What If would be in there, but like Letterboxd doesn't let you put it in for whatever reason. But without What If, it's Eternals in 30th, Captain Marvel at 31. I know Loretto is just like tearing inside right now with that Eternals.
Fight him, Loretto.
Iron Man 2 at 32, and Thor: The Dark World at 33.
I mean, those are pretty fair.
And I got the Hulk. I got the Hulk at 26 games. So fuck you.
Oh wow.
You're very, very bad at rankings.
No, I'm not. Because No Way Home is number one, baby.
Oh god.
Oh, that means you're good.
Yeah.
Top
Anyway, thank you for your ranking, Ryan. Thank you for adding a bit of flavor to this. Gabriel.
No, Gabe is boring as shit.
Oh boy, Gabriel. Ranking, please and thank you.
Oh,
Liven this up a bit.
Ranking it's next to the top. I don't know. I don't have a ranking, an actual ranking. I don't use Letterboxd. But I would say that I thought from like, because for example, like Infinity War, I don't feel like it's the best structured movie in the MCU, but I really enjoy rewatching it because it's just like it's fast paced. It has a lot of action. It has all the character moments. That's the way I feel about this movie. It's not the best like structure wise or like character wise ever, but it's just so rewatchable. I'm gonna enjoy it every single time I rewatch it. There's no dull moment. It just moves really fast.
Oof.
Like kind of like what Zack Snyder was trying to do with Man of Steel, but wasn't as successful at. Like just like making a quick movie, like just J.J. Abrams is really good at this, like Star Trek 2009 and Force Awakens. Anyway, tangent being, I really enjoyed it in that sense, so it's in the top tier for sure. So I would say it's a 9 out of 10 for me. I mean, it did have a few problems. Like I said, they kind of forgot about what's her face's parents, America's parents, in the end. So that was a bit. And I do think that they could have called it something different so that Ryan would feel okay with himself. So it's but it's still a pretty great movie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like majority of us, excluding Ryan, obviously, we enjoyed it for what it was. We enjoyed it for Sam Raimi. Ryan enjoyed it for Sam Raimi. There were great horror elements in that case, and I'm honestly a bit worried for what's gonna come after this because I feel like some of the films and the shows have been divisive, and like this weekend's gonna prove that on. Sorry, divisive.
What? Divisive.
Whatever. Okay.
It correctly.
She's sorry.
I'm sorry. I've heard it said both ways.
It sounds like you're saying.
What are you sorry about? What are you sorry about?
She's sorry about everything.
I'm sorry about everything. Literally, my voice is shot right now. But yeah, we did a great breakdown. I think that we reviewed every little aspect, the scripts, the visuals. I think that this is a game changer for Marvel in regards to a director's vision being fully fleshed out. And I love that. So we're going to do our little extras, and thank you all for joining us in the comments. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate you guys making all of those comments, all of those jokes, and talking about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with us tonight. So Gabriel, where can we find you?
Can I play the game? I play with John. You can find me there. Oh,
there.
Shit. There.
Wow, see, you missed it too. You were so
we always miss it every week. But to Lowe's credit, he was there this week and he just like nailed it. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. So right there, Film Pininitis. Great being with you guys. I hope I didn't like make Ryan that angry this time. So thanks for having me.
Whoa, Jesus. What do you have next? What do you have coming up next on Cinespection?
We actually have not decided. I want to watch a Sam Raimi movie that's not this one. So it's either that or Chain Reaction starring Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman. So we'll see.
Very nice.
That's a great movie, man. I love that movie.
I know.
I love it. Dibes, I know that you're busy with the Sixers. Yeah. And how are they doing right now? Are they good? Are they okay? You're okay?
Yeah, this is the best game they've played this series. They're about to get their first win of the second round here with 2 minutes left. So I'm jumping on a post game in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Hey, more power to you, brother.
You can go follow Dibes over at Mr. Crockpot as per usual. You can find him here with us as well. Ryan, what do you have coming up? I want to know. I gotta know.
I do gotta say one thing. I forgot my fucking.
Oh no.
My short film is premiering Monday night, which is cool. So I have the link to the final edited version that I can send you guys if you want to see secret tabs. But I'll probably release that on YouTube sometime late next week, early week after, something like that. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. But yeah, follow. Fuck you, Gabe. I did it right the first time. Follow right there. That's my Twitter, baby.
Yeah, he has some pretty terrible takes. So
I mean, that's what I'm known for.
If you want to roast him, go follow him. We all do, anyway. Loretta.
So what happened last night? Are you going to tell us?
Loretto, go ahead. What are you gonna? I'm not even gonna go there, Gabe.
I just
Where
want to
can we
thank
find
everybody
you,
for
Lo?
watching. You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Marcellus Durden, and I'm super excited to announce something, but I'm not quite ready to announce it yet. But I
So
do.
wait. So you're excited to announce something,
a
but you're not going to
pre-announcement.
announce it.
It's a
No, well,
pre-announcement.
it's not my place to say it yet, but
Can we
I
have a hint?
something I'm working on.
Small hint.
Uh,
A hint.
I'm writing for a publication. I just don't want to say it till it's published. But look,
Loretto! Oh
guys,
my God, yay!
I just watched Petite Maman, and holy shit, guys, she directed Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Celine Sciamma. Really great film. I wrote a really passionate review for it. That film sparked my fire again, and I got writing. It felt really good to write.
Yay.
So check out Petite Maman. It's hitting select theaters today. It's hitting select theaters. It's an awesome film. It's great. And yeah, well, I'll announce it on the next roundup, which is probably next Sunday. So stay tuned for the next Suit Up Geek Fix roundup.
Yay. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. And you guys can always follow me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. We have our fantasy movie draft coming up this month. So guys, make sure to stay locked on our Twitter at the Suit Up Geeks, and our Instagram will be posting back and forth there. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us in the comments. We are brought to you by Music City Drive, and we have so much coming up. We have Miss Marvel, we have Obi-Wan, we have so many things to cover. So keep it locked on here. Turn on that notification bell, and we'll catch you guys next time.